Hello and welcome to Queendom TV. Today I'm going to be talking about the problem with relationships on children's TV shows. Now, before I get into it, if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe, please hit the like button if you like the video, and please comment your thoughts down below. I would love to hear from you guys what you think. But today I'm basically just going to be talking about something that I've thought about quite a few times before, and it's about children's TV shows. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever thought about this, but I definitely have. You know, in children's TV shows, for whatever reason, whether they're in middle school, high school, whatever school you wanna call it, wherever you're from, they tend to have these very adult relationships where they are quick to want to have a boyfriend or have a crush or, you know, be kissing and doing all these things. And I just thought to myself, why are we even telling children to do this stuff? Like, why is this even something we're encouraging on television? Because at the end of the day, children have to be, I personally feel, my understanding from my own understanding of the Bible and my own relationship with God, is that your job as a child is to discover who you are. Like the first, I don't even want to call them 18 years of your life, because it might not be just 18, but however many, that period of your life, you have come into this world to yourself as a blank canvas. To God, he knows who you are and he knows the gifts he's given you. And it's your opportunity to discover what you like, work on what you like about yourself, and get yourself on a good path. And I believe that when you move out, like of your parents' houses, eventually, that you should be moving into into a life that you should understand and be aware of who you are and where your place is in the world and what you want to do, kind of thing. Now, I'm not saying you have to have every single little nitty gritty detail, but you should definitely understand, who you are as a person. For that, the reason why I believe that as well is because even in the Bible, when God talks about what happens when people get married, he said then once a man finds a woman and they get married, then the man will leave his family and cling to his wife. I mean, for me, I haven't seen anything else that suggests where we no longer are being, mentored or coached or helped by, our parents onto our journey. And obviously marriage is that step where you now move into a covenant with somebody else. And so I just think with childhood, there's so much to be discovered and to do in childhood that would set you up. Because realistically, guys, if you think about it like this: when you move into adulthood and you're no longer a child, in theory, adulthood should be the point where you're now stepping into a life that you understand, being well prepared, not fully prepared because things are still going to happen, but being well prepared for what's to come, being able to look after yourself, knowing what kind of jobs you want to get into and things like that, having experience, yada 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 yada, and having a very good strong understanding of self. Now, this is why I'm talking about all this TV shows and relationships on children's TV as being problematic, because I'm just wondering again, why are we so obsessed with trying to get children to know think deeply into thinking as though that they are adults? I think it's just totally unhelpful. Again, you're kind of giving them ideas of things to do that they just don't need to be worrying about. Like, why are they worrying about? I mean, obviously it's going to be don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not going to have crushes and things. Everybody has crushes and things and all that. That's normal. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, why is it in TV shows that we are giving to children, we are continuing to put these ideas and prioritize these things in their mind? Why are we not showing, more of how people are finding themselves? And when I say finding themselves, I don't mean like becoming a child star at 5 years old or something. I mean discovering something that they love, discovering what they're good at and being happy about it and feeling empowered by that. I feel like that would be so much more helpful to be shown on children's TV. Different types of children, because I mean, a lot of people today, the reason why they are where they are and they're in jobs that they hate, it's because, I think they're just lost in a lot of senses. Maybe they went to school, they weren't really good at the traditional school stuff. Or maybe they were, even though it wasn't what they really wanted to do, and they just got into a job that they're comfortable in. You've got a lot of adults who are unhappy now as adults, and I feel like it's because the job that was supposed to be done as children, what I feel like was God intended for childhood to be, that discovery process, self-discovery and everything like that. And I watched a really, really good documentary. I wish I could remember it. And somebody had basically broken down what's supposed to happen in all the stages, even of babyhood, and what can happen if those things do not happen and how that leads to long-term effects. I really believe that's why there's lots of things like, ADHD has become so prevalent. I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that children are not really being met. Their needs are not really being met. They're not really being helped to cultivate, being mentored and coached, which is what I believe parents are, like mentors, coaches, As even the Bible says, you know, that children are ultimately God's children, you know, but as a parent, you've been given the responsibility to train, to explain, to coach, to mentor those children. So again, it's just like in all that, if we're going to be spending time allowing the children watching a TV program, why are we making them watch relationships? Especially because then the next thing that we then do is you have a 13-year-old coming up to you telling you that they want to have a boyfriend, and you're like, oh, but you know what? And then they end up getting their heart broken because, you know, nobody really knows what they're doing in love at that age. You know, and it's not like they're going to be planning on getting married anyway. And then you're like, oh, well, you shouldn't be really having a boyfriend at that age. But then how are we really going to say stuff like that to children? Because at the end of the day, this is the stuff that they're seeing. And I remember it being so common all the time. Like, why was it always, and even just imagine being the children on set. Like, why are children being made to kiss other children? Like on set? Like, I just don't even really understand why we're doing this as a society. I don't understand why we're always trying to make children so adult. We try and make children so adult, so young. And we ignore the important things that they're supposed to have as children. And then when they don't have those things, as an adult, you just blame them for it. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's no wonder why so many people are unhappy in adulthood. It's no wonder why so many people are in therapy. It's no wonder why so many people do a degree in one thing and then end up studying and then end up in a job that's completely different. Because that step in life where we're supposed to have that self-discovery is being lost. And so much of, and I've talked about other things that children are thinking about just way too early. People just think children are thinking about it. Why are they thinking about relationships? Why are they having boyfriends and girlfriends? Why? Like, there's something to be said about something being put in front of you. When you see something, this is why people say seeing is believing. There's an element of truth to that, even on a biblical level, because God says that in order for faith, your faith, when the Bible says in Hebrews 11, you know, faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of which is not seen. Like, your faith is basically you seeing something that's not, you believe, seeing something in order to believe it. You're seeing it, although you haven't actually seen it happen in real life, but you're believing it, that it's possible, you know. And I think there's an element of that even with and you're believing it's going to happen, sorry. There's an element of that even with TV shows, is the fact that because we're seeing, it's creating a belief within people, even especially within children, that like, oh, I'm seeing all this stuff about relationships. Now they're thinking more about relationships where they don't really need to be. That's not really what they're supposed to be doing at their age. They're supposed to be living, thriving, enjoying being young, enjoying, discovering themselves, finding good long life friends, you know, understanding what they do deserve, what they don't deserve, building a serious foundation in self-worth, having a good understanding of consent. You know, why is it that people are struggling with these things into adulthood? Because when they were supposed to be learning those things as children, they were busy seeing people like 2 12-year-olds on screen kissing in school. Like, what did that benefit? It didn't benefit anybody. It didn't benefit the child. I mean, it benefited the flipping production companies because they probably made loads of money from those TV shows, which again is the even scarier part, you know. So I think it's just important to think about these kinds of things and why do we allow these things? Why are these things so normalized, you know? But anyways, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. So please do tell me what you think. If you think I'm making a big deal out of nothing, if you can see why I'm so like kind of bothered by all of this, please like the video if you've liked it. Also subscribe if you're feeling the vibe and you want to join my tribe. I'd love to have you guys here. I've got so many different videos and different stuff coming out on my channel, and so definitely check it out. I would appreciate having you guys so much. And another special thank you to those of you who are already subscribed. You guys know how much I appreciate you for taking the time to hit that subscribe button and be here and come back, especially those of you who come back. I notice you guys so much and it's such a blessing. I'm so grateful for you all. God bless to every single person who's watched this video, your families and everybody. And I'll see you in my next one. God bless you all and goodbye.